The Rams are currently coming off a tragic loss to the 49ers. However, the Bengals are 0-2 in their first 2 games, and the Rams are actually an underdog in this game to start. I don't think they should be, and that's what we're going to be talking about in my preview and predictions for the Rams vs. Bengals game today. Let's get into it. So here we are on the Rams Wire, and this is going to be an article that was shared last night, and I'm going to show you guys how much the line has moved since Joe Burrow has actually been kind of questionable. He might not be playing, and a lot of people are kind of under the assumption right now in Vegas is that Joe Burrow is not going to be playing in this game, which is going to be super huge. Now, I can talk about the 49ers game all day. We can really beat a dead horse if we want, but I'm going to try to keep this video at a minimum of that type of game talk and just talk about the Rams versus Bengals this week. So I hope you guys are okay with that. But I mean, I might mention them here and there. But here, this came out at 5:30 this morning, I believe. Yep, 5:30 this morning. And the Rams open up as a sizable underdog versus the winless Bengals. And yeah, the Rams are 1-1. However, we opened up as a 6.5 point underdog to Cincinnati in week 3. And that's going to be on Monday night as well. The over-under was set at 46 points, while the Rams are plus 225 on the money line. Basically, that means if you bet $100, you win 225. And I should have bet when I had the chance. I haven't yet, but I will definitely be betting on the Rams. So yeah, and for the Bengals, it would take you $275 just to win 100. Against the spread, it was plus 6.5, and the over-under is 46, which basically means Vegas thinks this is going to be like a 24-21 game. And that's often what it is set at. And this is going to be a Super Bowl, showdown from 2 years ago when the Rams played the Bengals. However, with Joe Burrow's status being uncertain now, the Rams are only 1.5 point underdogs versus the Bengals. There's a chance that the Rams won't have to face Joe Burrow in their Super Bowl rematch next Monday night after the Bengals quarterback tweaked his calf in Sunday's loss to the Ravens. Burrow's uncertainty has had an obvious effect on the betting lines as well. According to BetMGM, the Rams opened the week as a 6.5 point underdog. On Monday morning, the line has already shifted dramatically, with the Rams now being a 1.5 point underdog to the Bengals. So Burrow has not been ruled out yet, and he has had an extra day to rest, with the Rams and Bengals squaring off on Monday, but the outlook isn't great. Bengals coach Zach Taylor told reporters Monday that it's too early to say whether Burrow will play against the Rams, but it's not as if he said the quarterback isn't definitely playing. So this will be a situation to monitor all week. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. The Bengals had 3 days of practice left this week, and I honestly don't think that Joe Burrow is going to practice at all, even if he is going to play Monday night. And I really don't. I think this is going to be a game time decision, but personally, I don't think that Joe Burrow is going to play if the Bengals know what's good for him. But either way, now here we are on PFF.com. You guys know I like my PFF when discussing previews. In terms of, we're going to be looking at this game as if Joe Burrow is playing, because I personally think that the Rams would beat them even if they do have Joe Burrow, especially because he is a bit hobbled. But yeah, strength of schedule, the Bengals have had 9th so far. We have had the 10th, hardest strength of schedule. In terms of offensive snaps, we've had 36% run plays compared to 63% pass plays. This number went up considerably because we didn't run the ball as much against the 49ers, because we are actually, in the or trailing for the majority of the second half. We passed the ball about 2 times as often as we run the ball. The Bengals are even higher than that. They run the ball 7 times for every 3 times, or they pass the ball 7 times for every time they run the ball 3 times. And yeah, in terms of QB comparison, right here you can see Matthew Stafford, better QB than Joe Burrow so far. It's a 2-game sample size though, so we're not going to put too much into that. Impact player injuries, Joseph Noteboom is going to be questionable. He has a bad grade, but honestly, after Joseph Noteboom went out, we saw a massive decrease we saw an increase in pressures from the 49ers, so I hope he gets back, because I think that grade is a little bit unwarranted. Joe Burrow, I believe Nick Scott and Evans are questionable, and I think Joe Burrow personally isn't going to play, but I'm treating this game as if he is. In terms of the green line, not everything is up yet, so we can't really look too much at this. But in terms of lineups, we can look at this. So with the Bengals, we'll start out with the Bengals offense. Their line has been absolutely terrible, not giving Joe Burrow any sort of help back there. Mixon has been okay, but if you can't get a good passing game going, your running game's going to suffer as well. Jamar Chase has been non-existent for fantasy owners. I feel bad if you have Jamar Chase. He really isn't scaring me this year like he did before. T. Higgins, honestly, I think has been playing much better than Jamar Chase. They have Tyler Boyd as well. But really, their weapons aren't as scary with Joe Burrow being not as healthy and their line just playing absolutely terrible. Aaron Donald has not got off to his best start, and I think he played better against the 49ers, but I think he's going to try to make a statement, game. Going into this third game of the season where he only has a half a sack so far and didn't have much production yesterday other than getting pressure on the QB or 2 days ago, whatever it was. But yeah, Aaron Donald, I think he's going to try to, get after this quarterback, especially against this awful offensive line. I think he gets 1 or 2 sacks here. Byron Young has shown, I believe he has 1.5 sacks throughout the first 2 games, and he shows he can get pressure on the quarterback along with Aaron Donald. So I'm hoping to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback this week. Darion Kendrick has, he in that second half or at the end of the first half where the 49ers scored last week, he did give up 2 penalties that really cost the Rams. Now, I think they were a bit BS, but that's neither here nor there. Akella Witherspoon has had his moments of being great, and then he's had his moments of not being so great. So I think Ernest Jones has been playing very, very well personally. Roseboom could do a lot better in my opinion. And Jordan Fuller and Russ East, I think, played well yesterday, but our depth with Quinton Lake didn't play as good as I'd like to see. But I think we definitely stack up. In terms of, our defensive line versus offensive line. I think we win that trenches battle. And I think, with the way they've been playing, they're not going to have enough time to really exploit anything on our secondary. Now, in terms of the other way around, I believe this should be Nick Scott, who's a former Ram. And then they also have Dax Hill, who's been playing okay. And their defense, honestly, playing okay, not winning the game for him, but you don't expect that with the Bengals, I really like Sam Hubbard. I think he's a solid vet. And also Trey Hendrickson is not someone you want to play with also, but it's nothing scary like Nick Bosa from the 49ers, who we honestly, before the second half, were taken care of. So I think our offensive line is much better. I think Coleman Shelton's one of the best centers in the league this year so far. Havenstein didn't have his best game, neither did Alaric Jackson yesterday. But against 49ers, you're just not going to have your best day. Avila has played amazing. I think this PFF grade is BS. And obviously, we had the 5th best wide receiver in Puka Nacua so far. He has the 2nd most receiving yards, most receptions out of anyone this year. And then Tutu Atwell playing very good as well. Don't have Cooper Kupp back yet, but we will soon. Matthew Stafford, 6 QB by PFF. He did have 2 costly turnovers that also cost us the game yesterday. But against the Bengals, I'm really hoping that he can rein that in. Even if he doesn't score a single touchdown, I think we get 2 or 3 on the ground just by the way we've been playing things. And as long as he doesn't have interceptions, we win this game. So yeah, with my predictions, I think that this offense, our passing game is just lethal. If Matthew Stafford doesn't have that bounce off of Kyron Williams' hands, and then if Van Jefferson doesn't, if he sits down on his route a bit more like Stafford thought he would, we're talking a lot differently about how this offense is. But our running game is very efficient with Kyron Williams at the helm, and I think our wide receivers are going to be able to take advantage of this secondary. So personally, I think the Rams take care of the Bengals for official score prediction for today. I'm going to give it a 24-21. Actually, no, I'm going to do 24-17. I think Joe Burrow's probably not going to play. If he doesn't play, I give it 24-17. If he does play, I think the Rams win 24-21. So that's where I'm at with my score predictions. And I think their line just is... the line play on both sides of the ball, I think, is where this battle is going to be won. And I think Rams have the better talent on both sides. So that's where I'm at. Let me know where you guys are at in the comment section below. But other than that, that's going to be it. Leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the rest of the content I'm putting out this week. See ya.